making a video. A little windy, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm making one. There's been turkey vultures hanging around back here, but none at the moment. So, too bad for you. Yeah, it's very exciting. Ooh, vulture. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but there's a plethora of them the last 5 years. And there was like 30 of them back here yesterday. They were picking at something, but I couldn't find the something they're picking at. You know, I guess they have illusions or delusions in their head of food, and they just pretend to eat. Ow. Probably my foot of some kind. I had these boots on too long. I got boot rot foot. Foot boot rot. Anyway, this is totally irrelevant. So Professor Anton, if somebody wishes to clarify Professor Anton for me, I would certainly appreciate it, because I sure don't get his obsession with sound. I mean, I'm doing my draft science videos on sound currently, and so it's kind of coincidental in a way. But yeah, he's so obsessed with this auditory thing, and as if it's meaningful in some way, as if if we never acquired vocal or sound communication, that no organism could find some other way to develop language. And I think it's clearly could be demonstrated that, yeah, language is conceptual, it's symbolic, and that it can be in lots of different forms and transmitted, simply by having, we could have some squiggly antenna on our head that just moves in different shapes, and we sense what the position of each other's antennas or something. You could have lots of different ways of communicating, and the language itself is the important part of it. How well you define the words and the concepts in your effort to, the brain's effort, to take what's here and put it in here. I mean, isn't that all that's happening, Professor? Your brain takes what it experiences here through different senses, not just auditory, and it conceptualizes it into language. Isn't that what we're doing? We're applying an organizing technique, and that's pretty much all it is. It's not like we're doing something different than the other mammals in the basic process of absorbing experience, sense data, and then conceptualizing it. It's that we're conceptualizing it with filing cabinets, with a huge amount of organization that is made possible because of how we have developed the language, and made it precise and rich and full. Yeah, I would argue that it's half of what it needs to be in all of those categories. It's fuller maybe than it needs to be, and it's less precise. So give it 50% or 75% more precision, and 50% less fullness, redundancy, and you might be getting somewhere in terms of a really good tool for conveying images, ideas, concepts, relationships. And isn't that sort of what you were responding to? There's a video where the subject was more about relationships and understanding them and being able to become literate in your knowledge of relationships. The rocks are very nice little fellows, but they don't have brains. They don't have experiences. They don't have a welfare interest. And it's just silly to not recognize that. Yes, the context is we need them to hold the ground together. They're very convenient for throwing at things, At least the Christians found it so. Yeah, they have some purposes. Smashing, crushing, bashing, generally speaking. But sometimes they're just for fun. I like every now and then, just as a, Professor Anton could probably relate. Well, he probably not going to watch this video. He don't like me much. But something that he could relate to, just as a juggler. That sometimes just for entertainment purposes, I will, as I'm walking, if I'm not making a video, I will find a rock, suitable rock. Oh, dog probably pissed on that one. Dog probably pissed on all of these. These are probably all dog pissed rocks. How come I can't find a rock when I need one? Yeah, but at any rate, I really want to find a rock now. Oh, here's a little one. We'll go with him. But what I'll do is I'll get a rock 10 times this size, something with some bulk. And I will throw it in the air and catch it. And it's fun because, if you miss, you're going to bash your brains in. And so it's sort of a little challenging, fun exercise. Stimulates the arms and such. Let's break these dams. Yeah. So less ice flow, less chance of refreeze. There. They get the Herbert Hoover Environmental Protection Award for this week, or something like that. So anyway, am I still recording? What the hell? This video is way off subject now. But anyway, yes, this is my entertainment. A little rock tossing. And, I haven't done too many of these little rocks. They're kind of fun. Except I missed that one. It hurt. Anyway, so where was I? This is more the usual size. This is something a little more interesting. Yeah, that's more interesting. It's better. Yeah, a little challenge, that's if this is a trip or do something stupid, you're gonna have to think fast, buddy. So I threw a little behind me, so I had to do a rebound catch, which totally fucked my back. Yeah, life is good. At least I'm throwing a rock. Alright, anyway, fuck the rock. So yeah, we have a relationship to rocks. Some of us have kind of important relationships with rocks. Yeah, rocks are important in my life. I've sat on them and pondered the universe and stoically such. And so, yeah, they're sort of okay, fine, but they aren't living. They aren't alive. They're not conscious. They're not having a welfare interest. So let's not pretend they are, please. Pretty please. Anyway, back to language. Relax. It's hot. Yeah, it's actually got warm. Wow. So we're back to this idea of things have properties. They have histories. They have all kinds of stuff in that sense, describables. They have describable qualities. And language allows us to coherently compile those properties and to put them, to put the thing in categories. And that's all really language is good for. It's this idea that we can, through language, establish categories that are a description of properties. So, and those properties can range from, hot stuff, cold stuff, fast stuff, stupid stuff, tall stuff. We can have all kinds of categories. And we can put things in them for all kinds of, qualifications. And we can put all kinds of qualifications on the qualifications. That is, we can have all kinds of very precise reasons properties, very precise properties that will get something into a category. Bowling alley paraphernalia. Lots of very specific categories. And, narrow, where two things could be identical in terms of their physical structure, but because one has a history of being in a bowling alley, it goes in the category and the other thing does not. And so we can do that with categories like important. And things that are important is not getting hit by a piano. And so you find all the things that are threatening to drop a piano on you, metaphorically, and you put them in this is an important thing that we ought to fix because I don't want to get hit with a piano. And so thus is created, value designations. And you can put the Grand Canyon in there if you really care to, or Old Faithful, or the Gaia, poor little Gaia. We've pissed in Gaia's mouth a few too many times. Poor little Gaia's sick, and that's sort of important. Maybe it is a piano. Who knows? From my perspective, great. Kill Gaia. Then we'll go with it. Gets my job done. But yeah, it's a nasty way to go and all that crap. So my important category is don't die badly. Yeah, these are certain. These are the goal. The goal is don't do anything badly. If you're gonna do it fucking well, or not at all. Yeah, that's in one of my categories of little brilliantisms. Yeah, and when my category of fucking asshole bullshit shit is assholes blowing leaves. Goddamn December. Fuck, there's not a day around here that somebody isn't running one of those fucking things. Really, it really is annoying that you can't walk through any park now that is contingent to these things, these buildings, and not be blighted by that crap, that noise, yeah, that verbalization. Those machines are obnoxious. But it's December. What the fuck? You don't blow leaves in December. That doesn't sound right. Might be a good title for a song. You don't blow leaves in December. The balls are all... No, never mind. Anyway. Where was I? Confused and dissolute. No, that's not the category I was in. I'm walking and talking. That's the category I'm in. Walking and talking. Yay. Yay. But anyway, properties, categories. And categories become a property. When you're in a category, I'm walking and talking, that's now a property. Yay. I've acquired a new property. Walking and talkinger. He's a walking and talkier. Yeah, I've got a new property. And it's a category, it's a description. This is all very mechanical and logical and sensible. There's nothing magical in this process of contextual understanding of relationship. And I think Professor Anton's problem is that he wants the relationships to mean something more. He doesn't want, maggots just to be maggots. He wants somehow that's all part of some wonderful plan. It's all going somewhere good. No, it's just goddamn biomass. And he's just all spiritual about that. Oh, well, I think that's a special category. The special category of chomp, chomp, fart, fart, poo, poo. Yay! No, it's not a good category. Consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, Addiction. What the fuck? Nothing good there. Yeah, it's all bad. That's all there is. And mystifying or mystifying or whatever vocabulary, language, and vocalisms isn't going to change it. This, to Helen Keller, meant water. Well, I don't know it had a. I don't remember. Yeah, this. Yeah, whatever. And and water was an idea, a concept. Wet was a concept. And Helen did just fine once she established the vocabulary. She could have just as meaningful an intellectual experience as you or I. So anyway, I believe I have uttered enough. Yeah. So anyway. So yeah, whatever. I just don't get this. You want to pretend it's all okay? Well, then just say it. I am pretending it's all okay. I think everybody else should pretend it's all okay. Just leave it at that. But don't try to bend rationality and science and logic, into that whatever mud pie of mush. Alright, so anyway, somebody sure made a mess here. I mean, yeah, that's a little bit excessive. They're still throwing out there. Eek. Somebody will have to clean that up, no doubt. Somebody will have to clean that up, no doubt. Yeah, I guess I'm back. Why not, right? It's kind of nice sunset kind of time. Anyway, words. So, just everything we can, everything that is can be in some way fairly deeply understood through language. You can write literally, volumes on the simplest of things, the dynamics of how this gravel will shift over time, how it will, how the heavier bits will sink, the lighter bits will rise to the top, and all that kind of stuff. You could write, the interior, the exterior. Well, things have those things. We have interiors and exteriors. We have the life we live and the life we impose on the world. These are all stories we can deeply, in some kind of fairly complete way describe. And so, that can't be absolutely complete, in absolute context. Getting the whole proportional meaning or proportional sense, the clearest perspective. Even that, it's like, the vision thing. I was thinking about that just with, my eyes are a little fuzzy today. Some days my vision is not great. Today's one of those days where, not too good. As you get further away, things get a bit blurry. Some of our language creates some blurriness. Some things are just outside the range of our ability to, concisely and completely and tightly conceptualize. Because it's hard to construct a context to understand it in. I mean, you can think, about the World War I, trench warfare. I can describe some piece of it to you, but it's not gonna be able to put a sense of the whole huge magnitude of it the number of lives affected, ruined, the, all the experiences, profoundly, it's like tsunami, right? A few years ago, just profound experiences for people, individuals. I mean, I can talk about it. I can mention a few. I can do some work to attempt to describe it using examples, samples, but that's it. It's just samples. It's, you can't do any better than that. You can only sample it. You can never eat that kind of meal. The whole of World War II. You can't, you can't consume that as a thing you put into a reasonably contextual category. How do you do that? How do you possibly completely understand? I don't know if you can do that. So that's partly what I would argue is one of the limitations of for humans is that they really don't get the negative because they can't really eat something that bad. They can't absorb it. And it's so easy to create a little bubblegum kind of thought or perception. Some simple pleasantry, and you just can't recognize how small that pleasantry, that little joy is compared to the weight of some massively experienced horror. So anyway, I don't want to get into that crap. Just want to get into the crap that we can do a lot with language, and the language does it. It's the language is the reality. The way the language moves, the way the words interact in our consciousness is so similar to the way it interacts in this world. We can visualize a game of chess in our mind, and it's very much the game on the board. The rules are obeyed. In both worlds. So, but in language certainly doesn't need, it's not dependent on vocal transmission. So, I don't understand that obsession at all. So, thank you very much. Till next time, blah, blah, blah. Probably going to get some horrible rain tomorrow. Which means I have some horrible work to get done. I'm going to have horrible leaks and such. But what else is news? Okay. Till next time. God, I'm tired. Fucking dog. Kill those fucking neighbors. Kill my neighbors. Kill my neighbors. Anyway, enough of that. Metaphorically. Yes. Thank God for the metaphorical murder. Anyway, till next time. Yeah, I'm done. Anyway, till next time. And such. Yeah, really is a pleasant day. Bird.